We want to see more of heaven. We want to know your presence. We want to see more of heaven. We want to see more of heaven. We want to know your presence. We want to see more of heaven.
praise you, Jesus. Holy Spirit, we know you are here. We thank you that we are so aware of your presence. Holy Spirit, comfort us, penetrate our hearts, speak to us in unique ways. To the hundreds of students and leaders in this room right now, God, speak to every single one of them. Your calling, your conviction, your heart. God, you know every fiber of our being. And we trust you with it all. We surrender it all to you. Jesus, we thank you for moments like this where we get to come together and be one big family. We thank you for speaking to us across the state of Iowa. We thank you that we get to encounter you. We don't have to work up to be good enough, but you love us where we're at, and you love us enough to move us forward. We love you, Jesus. We praise you. Amen. Amen. What a great start to our conference, guys. How about everybody find 5 people to high five as we head back to your seats? Leading us into the presence of Jesus. Alright, so a few things before I introduce and invite our speaker to the stage. And I just want to share my heart for a brief moment, and I'll try not to talk too long. Try not, but pastors, it's really hard for us to talk really short, right? About a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, I stepped into this role as Student Ministries Director. And I, from day one, was looking forward to this Fall Youth Conference. Just really with expectancy, with the boldness to do something that we haven't seen done, and to do something very different. I remember I was talking to Pastor Luke. Where you at, Luke? You're probably taking energy drinks. Sorry if you don't think you should drink this. But anyway, Luke and I were talking about this idea of bringing in Dick Brogdon to speak. And I remember talking to a few other people, and they're like, I don't know if that's a good idea. Dick's kind of serious. He's pretty bold. He's not really a youth guy. And I remember a few people, I told a pastor a few weeks ago that he asked me who we were having speak at our Fall Youth Conference, and I told him Dick Brogdon, who goes, wait, for teenagers? And I said, yes, sir. And he said, it's a bold move. you're like, okay, what is this bold move stuff about whatever? Most of you are like, who is Dick Brogden? You'll hear him in a minute. I'm deeply brokenhearted over the number of missionaries sent out of our state. We should be sending significantly more. I am incredibly proud of how generous our state is. We are one of the most generous states, one of the most generous networks in the entire country, in the entire Assemblies of God, and I applaud you for that because you are incredible for doing that work. But one of our main missions in this role is to help raise the missional climate in the Iowa Ministry Network. To raise the bar. When we think of old, Dick might be too bold, and he's pretty forward, and I hope I paint it scarier than what he is, because he's an incredibly sweet man. I think we're selling ourselves short on what you can do. And I think we're selling ourselves short on where you can go. And I think God wants to use you to change this world. I know God wants to use you to change this world. And for me, thinking of bringing in Dick Brogden is one of the greatest things that we could do to help increase the missional climate in the Iowa Ministry Network. Dick is a bold proclaimer of the gospel. He is a missionary to a foreign land from his entire life. If you've heard of Live Dead, he's the author and the founder of that movement. He doesn't just write about it, he doesn't just preach about it, but he lives it out in his life. When we think of spending extravagant time with Jesus, Dick embodies that to me. I didn't want to invite Dick Brogden because I know he's an incredible speaker. I wanted to invite Dick because I know he is deeply committed to the Creator and taking that movement forward. See, when I walked through this venue a year and a half ago, I was like, man, what a better place than a 100-year-old building to talk about a 100-year-old mission that we've had in the Assemblies of God to be the greatest movement of evangelism that the world has ever seen. And that we can reflect back on that and say, there is more, God. There is more that you want to do in Iowa. There is more that you want to do in our lives. And there's more that you want to do around the world. So God sent us, all us. So then, wonderfully for introduction, I want to invite to the stage, would you give a warm Iowa welcome, Dick Brogden.
There was a teenage girl, her name was Lillian. She heard a missionary speak, and she went for a walk. And she said to Jesus, "Jesus, if you can use me, I'll be your little girl." She went to Egypt. She started an orphanage. She was there for all of her life. Her name's Lillian Trasher. And out of that orphanage came all of the ministers that we have in our churches in Egypt today. I was 16 years old. I was in boarding school. My boarding school was on the Rift Valley on the equator. I went out one night and I looked at the stars, no light pollution, the radiance of God's creation in the sky. And looking up at the stars, I said to myself, Lord, if you could be so glorified in these stars, how much more should you be glorified in the crown of your creation, men and women around the world, who are from every tribe, tongue, and language. And I said, Jesus, if you can use me, I'll be your little boy. I believe that in this room tonight are young men, young women, and maybe those of you who are older, who at the end of this message tonight, or possibly tomorrow morning, would join Lillian and myself and thousands of others who said, Jesus, if you can use me, I'll be your little one. That's where I'm headed this evening. I'm going to share 3 things with you about what type of people are needed as missionaries. The first type of person that is needed to be a missionary is someone that abides in Jesus. In John chapter 15, verse 5, Jesus said, if you abide in me, spend a lot of time with me, and I abide in you, you'll bear fruit, and your fruit will remain. I'm going to tell you 3 stories, then I'll make the point. There was a man from Yemen, and he got married. They were both of them young. The war, if you follow the news in Yemen, the country is worse than Syria, absolutely devastated. So they fled Yemen. They went up to Sweden. He got saved. He joined a radio ministry, moved to Cyprus, and his team in Cyprus is making Bible programs that they broadcast back into Yemen. They went as a team to Istanbul, Turkey for a conference. The conference finished, and this Muslim who had become a follower of Jesus and now was doing ministry said, I'm going to stay in Istanbul, a city of 25 million, for 3 days, and I'm going to walk the streets and see if I can find some Yemeni refugees so I can tell them about Jesus. So he walked the streets of Istanbul for 3 days, but he didn't find anyone, not from Yemen. So he got discouraged and he said, well, maybe I missed the Lord. And on that last day before he flew out, he said, I'm just going to take my Bible, I'm going to go to a big mosque where it's not the time of prayer, and I'm going to go into that mosque, I'm going to sit on the ground and read the Bible. Maybe somebody from Yemen will find me. So he went into the mosque, he read his Bible for a long time, sitting on the carpet. Nobody came to him. He got further discouraged. He said, well, maybe I've totally missed the Lord. So he tried to stand up to leave the mosque. But he couldn't stand up. Some unknown power compelled him down onto the ground. Then he got nervous. Maybe God is punishing me. Maybe devils are attacking me. But he couldn't physically move. And he was just stuck there. After what seemed an eternity, a man, breathless, came running up to him. The man said, I'm from Yemen. Can I talk to you? And the minute that man said that, that strange power forcing him down to the carpet was lifted, and he was able to stand up. And the man said, would you come with me to the back of the mosque to the ladies section, because my young wife is there. So they went over to the ladies section, and the man said this. A few months ago, my wife and I had a vision. We had the same exact vision, both of us. We saw you in this mosque, sitting where I found you, and light was coming down from heaven and shining into you, and then the light was shining out your back and shining into us. Sir, can you tell me, what does that mean? Furthermore, I have to work, and so I told my wife to come down to the mosque every day, and when she found you, to call me, and I'd come down so we could talk. And today when my wife walked into the back of the mosque, you were getting up to leave, so she prayed, Dear God, don't let that man leave. And you fell back down to the ground, and you were there until I could get here. So, sir, please tell us, what do these things mean? And so you went with them to their apartment. It was in the evening by now. And from that night, all through the evening hours till the morning dawn, he shared the gospel with them. And as the sun rose, the sun of righteousness rose in their heart, with healing in his wings. And that man and his young wife gave their hearts to Jesus. So,